welcome to Devine Goddess Tarot. My name is Jessica. I am so happy that you've joined me today. If this is your first time or repeat, what I am is a connection to your divine feminine as well as your masculine, so we can have that focus and direction. However, I'm going to talk a bit about divine feminine power as well as our energies to clarify. So if this is your first time watching, I'm going to just kind of identify that. Now, of course, no matter where you resonate, divine feminine and divine masculine energies reside in all of us. So no matter if you identify as female or male, it's the same. We tap into those energies because those energies are very much a part of us. And what that means is, so that I can be just a little bit clear, and I am going to just kind of use man and woman just because those are kind of easy terms than explaining every time when I say something. So please know that. So no matter where you resonate, no matter where you identify, it's the same. So I'm speaking of those energies. And so if we're talking about relationships and that sort of thing, just to be clear, I'm going to go into tapping into the divine goddess and see what goddesses are going to be for today's message, for you to align with that very powerful energy, because feminine energy is power, it's action, it's creation. And so a lot of people, and I like to say this, just go into, if you are a man watching my channel today, your power. So say that you were a fighter, for instance, and you resonate all in your masculine, you live in your masculine, your whole thing is MMA fighting or boxing. So to identify your energies, your focus and where you're landing your punch or your kick is your actual masculine energies, that focus, that direction, the knowing. Your power behind it is your feminine energy. That's what gets you moving. That's what action is. That's what makes that blade of grass grow. It is that feminine power. Now the direction in which it grows, of course, is sun energy, which is actually masculine energy, and that's the direction in which we go. So if that clarifies a little bit as far as where those energies are, I really like to emphasize that, and our world is really in need for knowing where those powers lie and what is giving us what, because the divine goddess, and if there's any woman in your life or feminine energy, we do not like to be ignored. We want to be acknowledged. We want for someone to see us, to notice us. And so when we do have that power, we're really only tapping into a fractional part of it when we don't know where it's coming from. And so actually knowing where your power is coming from, knowing where your direction is coming from, you open up an infinity well of power from whatever it is that you are seeking. If you are searching for more grounding, more direction, then knowing that that's your masculine source, then you know where you're getting at. You know what you've got to do, or find the answers to ground yourself in it. Meditation is a very grounding masculine energy. It's going within. It's no movement. It is purely going into your answers and your consciousness. And so actually getting up from meditation and applying it in life, that's your feminine. Okay, so now we've got those energies sorted out a little bit. Of course, it's a little bit redundant if you've been watching my show for a little bit of time, but I like to set that precedent so we know what we're doing today. We're gonna tap into your power. And there's a lot of messages in our world right now of feminine energy, feminine power, and sadly, it has gone so far into a different direction that it's toxic. Same thing with masculine energy and patriarch type energies. It's toxic masculinity. We want to come and be in the sweet spot of masculine and feminine energies, and that is the balance. the balance of knowing what we must do and working in a place that comes from the light aspect, which is love, which is inspiration, which is empowerment. And so not the anger, the war. Now, not saying that war isn't exactly purposeful. It's just knowing when to apply that very big energy. So today we're gonna talk more about that. We're gonna just tap into that. We're not gonna get too much into that tomorrow. I'll perhaps dive more into war. But as far as going back to masculine energy, if you are masculine, if you do reside in that male form, please, when you tap into the knowing that your action is your feminine power, you're gonna retain and get so much more. The goddess doesn't like to be ignored. And if you have a girlfriend or a wife, as you know, we don't like to be ignored. We want to be acknowledged for what is ours. So I hope that, I know that will assist you. So let's see what goddesses are going to direct us here today. And let's see. I'm feeling that one. Oh, Artemis, and she's the goddess of war. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that today. Focus. So she's very grounded. She's actually inspiring us to tap into our masculine with the focus. But remember, you can't have a war unless you take action. So even with her warrior goddess, so apparently the universe is wanting me to talk about that today, not tomorrow. So we're just going to go with that. We're going to draw one more goddess to assist in today's reading and messages. And I like to use the fighter analogy because there's so many men out there. Oh yes, we've got Shakti, and I'm grabbing her and I'm leaving the rest. So what we're gonna do, because that's a lot of information right there between Artemis and Shakti. So your Shakti is the base, innate. That is source power of creation. And so she is the beginning of it all. So we've got Artemis and we've got Shakti. So your Shakti is the beginning of all of time, of the creation of our universe. And that was that energy. And I love the story, and I'm not going to tell it to you. In fact, I inspire you to go read Awakening Shakti. It's a beautiful book about the Hindu goddess that started it all and why our world isn't. And she does it in such a beautiful way. She has such a beautiful voice, the narrator does. And the book is just amazing. And I'm spacing the author right now. But I can list it in the information below. She did not want to be disrespected by her father. She wanted her choice. And she is all about choice, of saying, this is what I choose. I get to be acknowledged and I get to be honored in that. And that is feminine energy. And when feminine energy receives, because that is also feminine energy, is the receiving aspect. So same thing with you. If you're masculine and you reside in that, you cannot receive without tapping into that energy. And so she did not get the honor from her father that she picked Shiva as her mate. And he was kind of the playboy of the cosmos. And they did not have a traditional relationship. And so it took Shakti to awaken Shiva for the creation of our universe. That's how the story goes. And so she had to go with her feminine ways and get him out of that meditative slumber to get moving with creating our universe. And so that was the action and the focus. But we had to awaken Shiva with the Shakti presence. So it's a beautiful story. I'm going to read those at the end. Let's see what Tarot has to say with whoever's energy is tapping into, whoever is needing to have that focus as well as that power to move it. So let's see what messages are coming through today. So we've got justice. Actually, I'm going to keep going, and then I'm going to go from the bottom. I'm going to read all these, and we've got the bottom. All right. So we've got justice, Queen of Swords. We've got Six of Swords, the Star, the Knight of Swords, the Hermit, the Hierophant, the Tower, and we've got the Ten of Wands. For clarifying for this, we've got Strength, Three of Cups, as well as the Page of Swords. Okay, so we've got a lot of sword action. We've got Tower coming undone. That can sometimes be the start of everything, and I'm seeing it right here in kind of this moment's position. We've got a lot of hope. And of course, with the Hierophant, we have belief systems, justice. We've got for creating balance in our life. And that would go directly with having that focus and Shakti. Just like what I said at the beginning, is that if we don't have those in balance, then we really can't take and create, well, we can create a lot more distraction than we can with the things that we really want to. Something creative, something that is truly what we want. Now, is there information in creating the things we don't want? Yes. It is the polarity of life. When we see what we don't want, then we can be clear on the polarity of what we do. So even shadowy aspects are very important for the learning. There are no mistakes. Goddesses don't make mistakes. Just so you know, we're never wrong. And as you know, like, your goddess in you, nobody wants to be wrong, because deep down we're not. Now, does that mean that things don't work? Does that mean that, yeah, this is a shitstorm? Yeah, it is. That's okay. Go again. And that's what the goddess energy of creation is all about. I mean, look at evolution. Well, grow some feet, we'll grow some fins, we'll this, we'll that. And as we can see through the ages, that evolution has found what works. Did it work long? Did we continue to do that? Did we go back into the ocean? Did we stay on land? Did we remove our tails? It goes on and on. That's feminine power of creation, is going, well, let's try this and let's try that. That's why there's no also, I inspire you to get out of judgment when you are in a place that isn't working, when things are feeling too much, when this whole tower energy is coming through and you're like, oh my God. It is showing you something. It doesn't work. It's that easy. And when I personally have shifted from the energy of shame and blame and this horrible, because perfectionism is, it's a wall. It's a wall to not fail. And that's just not reality. That is not anyone's reality. We all are going to fail beautifully. That's a success. So these tower moments, this burden that you're carrying, sometimes it's just as easy as, well, moving forward. And with this, you're going from those grounds, but you've got to know this. And so these are little tidbits that you can take into your life and go, okay, I'm on my way. You've been doing the work. The Strength card is here. I love this. Beautiful Taurus energy, and Leo. And the reason is because that's that lioness. That's that lion. If you're residing in your masculine energy. There's information everywhere in nature. And if we're quiet enough to listen, I mean, you're actually searching online and listening to this channel. You are looking for information, and that is so empowering, because when you deal with other people's stories, and wisdom, you go far. And that's where Three of Cups comes in. It's the gathering of information. It's beautiful. It's emotional. It's celebration. And so with community, we find our answers. We encourage each other to have the strength that we have forgotten. And so keep going. Page of Swords, new ideas. This is what this is. If this is new information and a new way of being, sometimes it's just little easy things of just knowing that, hey, I'm a goddess. We don't make mistakes. We make lessons. We make learning. We make choices to do it different. And that's, I love the Star card because it also reminds me of looking into a mirror and going, is this what I am creating? Is this who I want to be? And I love Alice in Wonderland. I love the caterpillar on there. He's always asking, who are you? So that's my question for you today. Who are you? And when you look in the mirror, you get to ask yourself, is this who I am wanting to be? Does this feel good? And instead of, like I said, going back to shame is such a huge thing in our culture. I love Brené Brown because she's a shame researcher. If you have not heard from her, I do recommend her book, Daring Greatly. Getting out of that shame. Now, can we learn from feeling? Yes, absolutely. I think there's a shadowy aspect of shame and there's a light aspect. Shame, to the shadowy aspects, drags us down. It creates us to not really see the lesson in something and learn from it and move. Shame is more, in its shadow aspect, is more like quicksand. We get caught in it, and if we're not careful, we can be sucked down into shame and to not changing. And so I inspire you with the Queen of Swords. She knows deep down, and so do you. I know that if you go to a quiet place, that you've got your answer. That I am has your answer. Your Shakti, your Artemis, that energy of knowing and going past that you ever believed that you could do. A lot of swords here is a lot of mental. It's the thing that is within us that we've got to get clear. And I love the statement that watch how you speak to yourself. Like, really analyze. Is how you speak to yourself, is it how you would speak to a loved one or a friend? Well, and we kind of do that, but really analyze if this is serving you. So I'm going to go back to the Hermit. This is that natural knowing, that inner being, that shining light on truth, looking back on where you've been, being still, going within. Keep doing that. It's really important. 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day of just quiet. And see how that, and build on that. And after you've gotten to where that's easy, keep going. So the message, of course, today, what I see for some of you, and especially with like the Knight of Swords, it's fast coming. It's moving fast. You guys, this energy right here, this is moving fast. This is going to calmer waters. When it feels heavy, that's where it goes back to the Hermit. Go within and see what's yours that you're carrying and what isn't yours, and heal it. And a lot of times for me, what I learned in my journey was what I was carrying was the things that I had not healed from my childhood. And so I feel by knowing that of me, it's usually the same with most people. It's belief systems, it's limiting belief systems that get in our way from getting in the boat and moving forward. So it's coming. Do the work. And this Aquarian energy right here, I mean, it is thinking differently. We have to learn to think a new way in order for us to actually start, to have the start of the Page of Swords, of new ideas to move forward. Our programming can be sometimes so toxic that is our limiting belief. And it's limiting us to where that the universe it's tearing down all of the constructs that we've made for ourselves. And that's usually when we get the avalanche, is when we haven't been listening to the snowballs that have been beautifully puffed in our face from the universe of saying, yeah, this isn't working. And yet we ignore it and we keep going until pretty soon we have tower moments. So it may get to happen, but know that victory is coming. You know what to do. You just got to keep asking the questions to the universe. You'll get your answers. All right, let's read about Artemis and Shakti for some more information as far as what those divine messages are, and perhaps some other aspects that I didn't mention today. So your empowerment message is, in order to fully embrace the intentions you have set in motion in your current conditions, it is important to seize the moment. Now is the time you can truly make your mark. As the Greek goddess of the hunt, Artemis will help guide your arrow. Surrender yourself to the process of whatever is calling for your attention. Immerse yourself fully in whatever needs focus. Allow yourself the experience of deep, abiding trust. If you aim true, your heart is open and pure, grateful for all the bounty that surrounds you. Your deepest desires will manifest before you like magic. The alignment message. Sometimes you can be so focused on one thing one way, one outcome, or one expectation that you run the risk of losing the opportunity to experience what you genuinely desire. You may be so fixated that you become blind to what is truly yours and what will be in your best and highest good. The goddess of the hunt offers the alignment tasks to soften your focus and allow the fulfillment of your desire to come to you as it will. Whether you hit your mark now, it's not the point. Rest your eyes and release the tension in your body. By taking this break, you will avoid shooting yourself in the foot. Instead of recognize that you are so loved. Love, success, and opportunity, all that is truly yours, will not run past you. Call on the goddess Artemis to remind you of this truth. And I know that is so true to me. Let go of the attachment of how things are supposed to happen. That is so important. I love it. Soften your gaze and just let it come. And when something presents itself, perhaps be a yes person and go, let's see where this hits. Why is this being presented to me? Perhaps this is an opportunity to go a different way of getting exactly what you are choosing to create in this realm. All right, let's do Shakti. And all right, the empowerment message. Wonderful change is afoot in your life. So there's that right there. There's the tower right there. When the Hindu goddess Shakti comes to support you, all your longing, desire, and focus on something better in your life, coupled with your willingness to do the work, has ignited the life force energy of the great goddess. She responds now to bring you your heart's desire. Know that now is the perfect time to move into the highest version of yourself. Are you ready for this change you so badly want? Everything depends on how honest and clear you have been, and how you are willing, and how willing you are to explore other ways of being authentic in the world. You have the magical feminine divine energy of the creator goddess Shakti to help you when you become open to doing things differently. You are stepping into your destiny, so wisely and without guile, and you will be amazed at the way your world awakens with breathtaking beauty. I love that, and that's exactly what we've been talking about. Alignment message. Sometimes people and situations come into your life as a kind of change agents that turn your life upside down. There you go. What you thought was real and expected as challenge by someone else's perspective or behavior, which you have no control over, this can be painful and deeply confusing, but the Creator Goddess Shakti wants to offer you her guidance. Can you see how everything that is off balance is serving you now, helping to open old wounds so they can be finally healed? You know you are seeking this change, this magical metamorphosis for a better life for you and your loved ones. Right now, your alignment task is to love that part of yourself that sabotages your efforts to move forward. Love the insecure you, the one that is jealous, the one that sees not enough when the world is truly full of potential. Life loves you. The feminine aspect of the universe, the great goddess herself, all your angels and your guides, all are helpers to remind you that you came here as a spiritual being learning to co-create a world anew. I love that so much because that just sums up all of this. The universe wouldn't be you without you. And I feel that that is such an empowering message. She is tapping into you. She wants you to create and co-create with her. That's why we have embodied the goddess, why we have that ability to create in our life is because we're goddesses. We're gods. We have the ability to create our worlds. We have. In fact, and I believe I've said this before, our worlds are a reflection of everything we believe we can have and everything we believe we cannot have. So that's your alignment message, is to believe what you can have and move forward with that. So thank you so much for joining me today. Please like, share, and subscribe if this was something that empowered you today. I would love that. So I am here every morning or afternoon, evening, depending on when you receive this message. And this is applicable from whenever you get it. So a lot of times the headline, if it reaches out to you, it's a message for you. Not everything will resonate at the time. Put it on the shelf, as I always say. Another time it will be applicable. So have a lovely day, and I will see you tomorrow.